Athletes Unlimited's championship season continues today. Week 1 featured power early and often with 14 home runs in 6 games, 5 players tallying 2 each. Not to be outdone, pitchers flexed their muscles and made their voices heard, sitting opponents down at a feverish pace. Will the circle generate another champion? Or will gold be worn and won by a hitter at the end of season 3? Only time, the leaderboard, and the Book of Unlimited will tell. Athletes Unlimited Softball is presented by our official sustainability partner, Aspiration. Parkway Bank Sports Complex in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside Chicago. Team Mulipola and Team Jaquish kick off week 2 from our championship season. Superstars at the top and bottom of the leaderboard, all hoping to head in one direction, which is up, chasing Savannah Jaquish and Deja Mulipola leading these two teams. We will tell you all about that innovative scoring system as we go on. 60 of the world's best, all vying for those top 4 spots each week. In that captain spot, we got our first look at these new teams here tonight. Alongside the 2-time Olympian Danielle Laurie, I'm Chucky Kemp. I love this matchup. I mean, 2 of the best hitters on the planet right now captaining these 2 teams.
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad to be back. I missed last weekend, so it's cool to be back here. But if you were to ask who's going to win this thing that is not a pitcher, to me it's either Savannah Jaquish or Mulipola. Both of them have so much pop, leadership. They're really fun to watch.
Deja Mulipola there in that 3rd spot on just a jam-packed top of the leaderboard. Just love some of the names up there.
Well, and I also just kind of look at the fact that she was a rookie last year. And so this is really the first summer for her going in where she's got her feet wet. She feels good. This first-time captain. And she just truly has so much pop and power behind that swing. And when I think of one of the best to do it, I really think of Savannah Jaquish and what she's been able to accomplish, not only in her career, but in Athletes Unlimited. You see this 76 mile per hour exit velocity. She's 2nd in the league in that point system. 60 MVP points she was able to get last weekend. She just leads the team in all categories. And what I loved last weekend, she almost had 3 home runs off 3 different pitchers. She's a big factor for this team. But what makes this league so unique, it is the scoring system. You're going to get those win points. You're going to get the individual stat points as well as MVP.
Well, let's check in with the 3rd member of our team, roaming somewhere down there, Key Michael. How's it going, Key?
You never know where I'm going to be, but right now I'm in the stands because I'm looking for some family, some friends. I found some husbands, some grandparents, some babies that I'm going to introduce you guys to later on in the broadcast, so stick around for it. And if you have questions, use hashtag Keycam and I'll answer them for you.
Please interview that baby on the air today. That would be a historic moment as we look at Alicia Ocasio starting in the circle today for Team Jaquish.
And why wouldn't she? She is the champ from last year. Has a lot of confidence in the circle for sure. A lot of just experience, throws that drop to both sides. But really what separates her at times is just the fact that she could throw that off-speed pitch at any count. Up, down, drops it off the table.
She's off to a great start too, swinging the bat well. She's in 10th spot as we head into week number 2. And there's Haley McClenny leading things off for Team Mulipola. Deja has herself in the cleanup spot. Not a bad spot to be with McClenny, Leach, and Chittister ahead of her. And Erica Biancastelli, who had a great week 1 down in the 6th hole. These 2 lineups are dangerous. It's hard to not say that about every lineup here because there aren't a lot of holes. But man, these 2 could be electric. Here we go, Ocasio and McClenny. Alicia Ocasio, the defending champion here at Athletes Unlimited's championship season. She's trying to go back-to-back here in Rosemont. Got off to a great start last week. Who will be the team this week to dominate? Team Eberly, led by Carrie Eberly, and we'll see her again as a captain this week, led the way in win points with 240. And that is really, I think, over the next couple weeks specifically is where you'll start to see some separation on the leaderboard. Some of these players, if you get stuck on a team who's not winning consistently, you can find yourself in a tough spot.
Well, and also you have to think those are things at times that's completely out of your control. And you cannot let that get to you mentally. You still want to try to be a good teammate even though you are not getting the win points, because at the end of the day, that's how you see yourself really moving up the leaderboard. is when you're able to be on teams that wins, and even players that may not get good at bats all the time that are on the dugout, they can still see themselves moving up the leaderboard, maybe not playing as much, but being on those teams that win.
It's always interesting in this league when you see somebody who's top 20 or top 10 and they're hitting under 200 at the plate, but they've just been on teams that are winning so frequently, or maybe they had a big game and picked up some MVP points. There's always so much to play for in so many ways that you can find your way up the leaderboard. 2-2 count to Haley McClenny. Swings and knocks that one foul. McClenny coming off a good AUX season. She is just one of the toughest outs in the league. She hit 263 at AUX, but led the league with 12 walks. I just think as a pitcher, she has to be miserable to face.
She's top 3 hitter that I've ever faced to date, and just what she's been able to do, because she does such a good job of just making you work as a pitcher, works the count deep. Whether she gets 0-2 or not, you just see her sit on that changeup and just kind of wear it down in the zone, works it to a 3-2 count. Already makes Ocasio throw 6 pitches.
McClenny in 7th in 2020, 12th last year. She hits this one well to left field. It's gone! Wow, that got out of here in a hurry. Haley McClenny going opposite field to lead off the game. What a shot from McClenny.
I mean, you gotta love it when your leadoff hitter goes yard. 7th pitch of the at-bat, 3-2 count, Oppo Taco all day. Bubba Nichols does everything she can to go get it, but you're right, Chucky, that got out of here in a heartbeat, and I thought for a second it's gonna get down, but carried well.
Right side, Gibson takes care of Aubrey Leach on the first pitch, so Ocasio trying to settle back in quickly. That brings up Amanda Chittister. In her last season as a pro, announced her retirement, and what a player she has been her entire career, all the way back to Michigan, but she's a prime example of when these careers can extend and let these athletes really get up there, 26, 27, 28 years old, coming in. What a grab in left field! Bubba Nichols continues to show off the leather here in Rosemont.
Such a good play by Bubba Nichols, lays it all out on the line. And why this is a great catch, because if this gets by Bubba Nichols, this could be an inside the park home run. She's sure she's able to get that, keeps it in front. Great defensive play right out of the gate here in the top of the first.
Now the captain, Deja Mulipola out of Garden Grove, California. The Arizona superstar swings and misses. 0-2 count. Deja with a .571 average in 3 games last week. 2 home runs, drove in 4 runs. Couple walks and got hit by 2 pitches. She did everything. One, two.
Well, in talking to Jen Salling, who's a facilitator for Team Mulipola, I've gotten the chance to play with her, obviously with Canada. She said she has not seen a hitter more strong or can get off the bat hotter than it does Deja Mulipola, and that's saying a lot. I mean, we've gotten the chance to compete against, you think about Crystal Bustos with Team USA, there's just been some of them that are so strong, so it goes to show just the pop from Mulipola and how hot of a bat she really does swing.
3-2, Mulipola walks. And you said it, not a rookie anymore. Starting to get even more comfortable, and she was good as a rookie. Certainly good at Arizona. But she does seem even more at ease at the plate. It just looks so natural.
And at times, too, your rookie season can kind of be a feeling it out. What's this league all about? What's the flow? How do I have to go about my business and my training to put me in a position to be successful on the field? And there are no coaches, so it's an accountability. And I think once you get that first couple series under your belt as a rookie, you start to figure it out and know what you need to do to be successful and how to get yourself ready and prepared.
What would your advice, because you've done this a lot, whether it's with the Pro League or with the Olympics, what is your advice to players if they were to ask you, how do I do this really on my own?
Well, a lot of it is what you do when no one's watching. Those dark days of putting in the time when your mind is telling you, hey, I'm tired and I don't want to do it. But also that short-term memory, especially for pitchers, because it can be a challenge at times when you're facing the parity of these hitters day in and day out. You have to be able to have that short-term memory and know that I get the opportunity to come back and play again tomorrow. But how much are you willing to do outside of what's required? So are you watching video on yourself? Are you finding ways to better your nutrition, your workouts? And the older you get, you have to be more dialed in on those because we're just not young like we used to be, and our body can hurt a little bit more. So got to have all that ready to go.
I'd trust you with a few innings right now.
Well, I don't know if I would be able to move for a week, but I mean, I think I could if I needed to, but I'd probably be bottom of the barrel pitcher here. Hey, I played in a slow pitch game last week. I'd step into the box. I'd step into the box and give it a shot against Ocasio more than I would want to step in the circle against these hitters.
What position are you playing on a slow pitch field?
Third base.
Really?
Yeah, you better believe it. Hot corner.
That is not a good spot in slow. I mean, it's not a good, for me, it wouldn't be a good spot anywhere, but slow pitch, third base, my goodness.
I'm deep in the hole.
Heels on the grass. Did you guys win?
No, we didn't. I was just filling in. I wasn't happy about it.
I don't want to get on your teammates too much, but you've got a former National Player of the Year on your team, and you lost a slow pitch softball game. What is going on?
I don't bring much to the table.
Okay.
But this AB right now by Fisher, working it to 3-2, fouling off a lot of pitches. Similar to Haley McClinney in that leadoff spot, just making Ocasio work. Going on her 24th pitch already here in the first inning.
Fisher coming off an Athletes Unlimited best for her, finishing in in 8th place at AUX. Was great as a captain there. Here's the 9th pitch of the at-bat. Got her. Great battle won by Alicia Ocasio, but Haley McClinney with the big swing here in the first.
And Haley McClinney setting the tone right out of the gate. 3-2 pitch, Oppo Taco all day.
Back in the village of Rosemont, just a mecca of softball. Over the last decade, we have seen some of the best players in the world consistently playing right here in Rosemont, Illinois. As we get our first look at Peyton St. George, the first-year player out of Duke, takes to the circle for her team.
And I love that St. George is getting the ball today. Tall pitcher, brings good velocity with that upspin, throws that rise up in the zone, but can change speeds as well. And in a league like Athletes Unlimited, you have to be able to pull the string on a pitch to be successful against the different lineups you're going to face.
Well, this is a tough one. Jefferson, Jaquish, flipping right out of the gates. Savannah Jaquish originally had herself in the 3-hole and then moved herself up one. Just could not wait to get back in the box after last week. Jefferson up the middle, diving beyond the outstretched glove of Aubrey Leach. Janae Jefferson has a leadoff single.
Number 27, Savannah Jaquish.
It's not a bad spot by St. George, especially for the first pitch of the game. Pitch on the outside corner, elevated up enough, but Janae Jefferson just squares it up, hits it right back up the middle. Solid leadoff.
Got to feel good for her, too. Rookie out of Texas had just one hit in week 1. Sees the first pitch and picks up her second professional hit. Here's Savannah Jaquish out of LSU, and she is unbelievable. Hit 600 in week 1, 2 home runs, both coming in the same game. Added a triple in that game. Drove in 5 runs. Yeah, Janae Jefferson has some serious speed on the base paths. If I have Jaquish up, I don't know that I'm worried about it. I mean, just let her bring you around naturally.
Yeah, you don't want to run yourself out of it right away. Want to continue to kind of keep some of that momentum going. 2-1 count here for Jaquish. Good opportunity.
Pitch from St. George, ripped foul.
These are last weekend Jaquish back-to-back bombs. Just such a sweet, smooth swing. Expands the zone really well. Not only can she get you on the inner half, she can go with a pitch, waits on it, sees it deep in the zone. One of the best hitters in this league by far.
2-2, this one kind of off the handle almost, but sprays it down the left field line. Back-to-back hits off St. George to start the bottom of the first. She's got some good gloves behind her. Stokes O'Connor out in left field. Haley McClenny there in center. Bianca Stelly over in right. Fisher and Chittister at the corners, and then there she is, Sis Bates, one of the best gloves in the world at shortstop, and Leach is next to her. Sis was the defensive MVP at AUX, rightfully so, but I mean, you talked about her. I know you're a fan for a lot of reasons playing at Washington, but she is special.
Well, and defense is her specialty. Yeah, she's a darn good hitter, but spends so much time on defense.
Into left center field and deep. McClenny looking over and makes the catch at the warning track. Janae Jefferson stays at second base.
And a little bit on the line in this inning with Team Mulipola having 1 run. Jaquish needs to score 1 run to tie this up with inning points on the line. Every single inning of every game is worth 10 points. So if Team Mulipola scores, Team Jaquish has to score 2 to get those inning points, or 1 to roll it over potentially to that next inning.
Bubba Nichols trying to help her team do just that, at least roll it over with the tying run at second base. 0-1 count. Watches it outside. Nichols made a really nice grab in left field in the first inning. She had a great first week, hitting 600 with a couple home runs. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Jefferson going to third. It's into left field. Jefferson coming home. The throw. Oh, what a throw! Mulipola slaps the tag on Jefferson. And they got her.
A little bit of an overthrow by Mulipola, but Stokes O'Connor with the money throw home. Perfect placement. Mulipola does a good job being able to be in the perfect spot. You never know with catcher interference these days, but I mean, that's a bang bang play.
What a throw, and a big moment right there with those 10 inning points on the line. Oh, here we go. Deep left field. Nichols going back. It's gone. Bubba Nichols sends one over the players' suite in left field. And there it is. The inning points belong to Team Jaquish.
Bubba Nichols last weekend had 2 home runs and 7 ribbies, and add on another bomb. Starting out hot week 2 right out of the gate. And what a response. I think for me, when that defensive play happens and Mulipola throws it to the outfield, but they're able to snag her at home, for Bubba Nichols to be able to step up in that moment and just kind of quiet it and be like, yeah, good play, but watch me work. And here I go, winning the inning for our team. That was big.
She went from 8th to 4th on the leaderboard with one swing of the bat. And that doesn't include the 10 inning points that she's going to get. DJ Sanders trying to start things back up here with nobody on and 2 outs. It's her birthday yesterday. Haley Wagner made cookies for him at practice, and I did snag one of those. They were delicious. Swing and a miss. Sanders fighting with St. George in a 2-2 count. DJ Sanders out of Columbus, Mississippi, finished her college career at Oregon. You like that one? It looked good. This one's hit well. It's over the wall, but foul. Full count. Fights that one off. Trying to give the catcher Gwen Svekis a chance in the on-deck circle. Good battle here from DJ Sanders, who didn't have a hit in week 1 in 3 at-bats, but she was on the right team, part of Team Eberly, picking up 240 win points. Popped up into the stands. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming. Second 9-pitch at bat of the first inning. This one left side over Fisher, but foul.
And I felt like at least last weekend, the vibe that I was getting was pitchers were ultimately the ones that were in control, and you're just kind of seeing that shift a little bit here in the first inning. Ocasio throwing well over 20 pitches. You're looking at St. George, already 22 pitches. These hitters are making them work.
Sanders has fouled off the last 4, puts this one in play, and it's caught by Leach at second base. Another one long over the wall. It's Bubba Nichols.
Well, Bubba Nichols doing what Bubba Nichols knows. 10 points for Team Jaquish. Oh, because of that 2-run shot.
Team Jaquish grabs the first inning points thanks to Bubba Nichols' 2-run home run, and they lead at 2-1 as we go to the second. Athletes Unlimited all over the place. Tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, a doubleheader on ESPNU on the lacrosse field, and then we are back at noon Eastern with 2 games, Team Harshman and Team Jaquish leading that off. Let's go down to Key Michael.
Guys, I found someone super special. This is Adria. Not only are you Janae Jefferson's girlfriend, you're Simone Biles' sister, just like casual coincidence. Welcome to AU. Welcome to the family.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so glad that I spotted you because I love meeting partners of players because I love asking, how did you guys meet?
I slid in her DMs like a loser.
Not like a loser. It's 2022 romance.
Yes, we have mutual friends, so they introduced me, so.
Okay, and what exactly did you say to her?
I think I said, like, you're stunning or something, and she, like, replied, but it wasn't, like, clicking, and I was like, listen, are you single? I'm single. Like, I think you're cute, and then I was like, okay.
I need you to know.
Yes.
That is so awesome. Well, obviously it's clicking now. So you guys have been together a few months, and do you get to see each other often, or is she always working, you're always working?
She's been traveling a lot, so I do go to see her whenever I can, but hopefully when she's home, then we'll be able to spend more time together.
And you come from an athletic background, obviously. You were also a gymnast like your sister, so you kind of understand the sports life,
Yes.
like you get it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But do you guys talk a lot about sports? Do you, I mean, you respect people that have medals. You know what it takes to get a medal. I know Janae got a World Games medal recently. Do you guys ever talk about that kind of stuff?
We do. It's good that we kind of both know like a sports mindset, you know,
Yeah.
like we understand the schedule, like mental and everything else, so it's good.
And what's the funniest thing about Janae?
Okay, I have her hooked on Love Island right now.
Really?
Like, she will be like, what are you doing? I'm like, watching Love Island. She's like, that's lame. And I'm like, no, watch it. So I gave her my Hulu login, and now she wants to stop watching it.
That is awesome. Well, Love Island and Love kindled between you two, so I'm here for it. Thank you so much, AJ. I appreciate you, and welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Key. Janae Jefferson, we are so happy to have her at Athletes Unlimited, just a super talent. You see Nadia Taylor grounding to shortstop, trying to turn two here, and they got her. Flippin' and Filler up the middle, taking care of it. 2 away.
And this is just picture perfect. Flip does a good job of getting it over to Filler pretty quick. Nadia Taylor doesn't have a ton of speed, and she would admit that. So in that situation, that double play has to be turned. And Team Jaquish does just that.
Anna Flippin, fresh off World Games, pro season in Japan. She'll head back there. Conclusion of Athletes Unlimited. She'd like to go back with a gold medal. Well, she's got one. She'd like to go back with 2.
Yes, she would.
Kiki Stokes O'Connor, the Nebraska product from Olathe, Kansas. Trying to lay down the bunt. That rolls foul. Kiki recently named the new head coach at Kansas City, playing the Summit League, and she will lead the Roos from here on. Gets to go back home, close to her hometown of Olathe. Just a superstar at Nebraska, and when she broke onto the pro scene in the NPF, it's great to see her back on the field, and she is thinking, man, why did I come back after taking that one off the ankle?
And this, you know, it just hurts. I swear, I would step into the batter's box looking like Terminator. Like, I literally had gear almost to the point where it looked like catcher's knee pads, because honestly, it just, the pain doesn't go away. You wear it for a couple days, you got a bump, and as a pitcher, so if I'm Ocasio in the circle, I go right back into that spot. And it's not to be mean, but you know she's gonna be a little bit more hesitant on the inner half. You just wanna pump velocity down in the zone, try to get her to swing and miss, but man, that hurts.
She just got back from her opening press conference as the new head coach in Kansas City. Trying to shake that off right now and bounce back here. She's got a 1-2 count against her. They have made Alicia Ocasio work so far in this game. Already has thrown 35 pitches. Kiki back in the box, ready to go. 1-2. Does go back inside, doesn't get the call though. And didn't have the velocity that you were talking about.
Little change up, 53 in on the hands, and just being able to throw that pitch now just kind of allows for Ocasio to expand the zone a little bit.
It's fouled back and out of play, was going back inside that time.
And I just can't say enough about the battery and the connection, and that's why I'm just such a big fan of Gwen Svekis, who's behind the plate, and just her experience in Athletes Unlimited. I mean, Kat Osterman played 2 seasons and pretty much did everything in her power to draft Gwen Svekis first, because she knows that connection and the pitch calling, and there's so much that goes into it. And as a pitcher, when you find a catcher that you are comfortable with, it can take your game to the next level, and that really is what Gwen Svekis is. Loves learning about the pitchers, is constantly in their ear, pumping them with positive stuff, helping them in moments that they need it.
Swing and a miss. Svekis and Ocasio get it done to finish the top of the 2nd inning. 10 points on the line as Team Jaquish comes to the dish.
I hope Team Jaquish looks like just they're having fun and they're attacking the game. I feel like I have always had a team that wants to attack and wants to strike first, and especially in this league where every point matters and every pitch counts, I think that Team Jaquish will have that mentality for sure.
That is certainly her mentality, and it has worked out very well for her so far. She's hoping her team can pick up 10 more inning win points here in the bottom of the second. They lead 2-1, down the line, foul. The leadoff hitter is Gwen Svekis. Svekis in her 3rd season out of Davie, Florida, played at Oregon. She tied for 5th and finished 10th in her first 2 championship seasons. Struggled a little bit at AUX, but started to get going toward the end of that season with her bat. A couple home runs in that final series. Like you said, it's so much with Gwen is what comes behind the plate, the leadership, the communication that she brings to the table.
When she's really open about getting to know her pitchers, like she wants to bring the best out of them, and to me that is just the #1 thing that you admire about a catcher, because they put themselves behind you and they say, hey, I want to make you the best that you possibly can. I want to learn about you, figure out your tendencies.
Fisher takes care of her on the ground ball. There's one away.
The pitcher, number 8, Alicia Ocasio.
Now here is Alicia Ocasio, who won it last year. Did not have the greatest of AUX seasons, but this is what she did in week 1. She was tied for 35th entering the 7th inning. By the end of the game, she was tied for 11th place. And after MVP voting, had jumped all the way into 10th place. I mean, that's how quickly things can change here. If you are winning, if you're having success, and then if you can put together a big game, pick up some of those MVP points, which are always the wild card, you can move quickly.
Well, and just being able to get that MVP 1, I mean, you're going to get 60 additional points on top of those win points, on top of inning wins. There's so much. So to be able to get rewarded with that as well based on performance really helps you out a lot.
St. George has started 6 of the first 7 batters she's faced with a strike. 1-2 to Ocasio, spins it off the glove of St. George, and Ocasio beats it out. Some English on that one.
Number 70, Andrea Filler.
Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. Love this venue for Athletes Unlimited, Parkway Bank Sports Complex, Rosemont, Illinois, just outside Chicago, across the highway from O'Hare International. It is such a unique place for softball, and a place that I think has become synonymous with the greatest players in the world.
And the only stadium that is built truly for women's professional softball, which is just the cherry on top of the cake for me.
Andrea Filler rips it through the 5-6 hole. Ocasio to second. Great start here in the bottom of the second after an out from Svekis. Ocasio reaches on an error, and Filler gets all of it.
This is just a no-doubter right through that 5-6 hole, 1-1 count, turns on it.
Andrea Filler has just been quietly good. Her time with Athletes Unlimited. Tremendous second baseman. Look at Jasmine Jackson in the 9 hole. San Jose, California native. A Cal Bear. Shows bunt and lets it go. Janae Jefferson's on deck right now after Jackson. Jasmine in center field for Team Jaquish. Played a lot of right field at AUX. Kind of a half-hearted swing there for strike 2.
And the fact that you can turn the lineup over and have Jasmine Jackson in the 9 spot with her speed to Janae Jefferson up top. Those two pack a big punch, 9 and 1, and it just goes to show those are hitters that are able to turn that lineup over quick, can utilize that speed, puts pressure on the defense. That's exactly what Jasmine Jackson is in that 9 spot.
2-2 upstairs. Full count. Great battle here from Jackson. This one's spinning, and Jackson's on with an infield single. Never a chance to get Jazz Jackson.
Fielder number 42, Janae Jefferson.
This is the swinging bunt. Jasmine Jackson couldn't do this twice in a row if she wanted to, but Sam Fisher back a little bit at the bag, able to use her speed. And that's 3 singles in a row here. See what Team Mulipola is going to do here with bases loaded, 1 down. Infield's probably going to crowd. Try to see if you can get that lead out at home.
Popped up, playable. Mulipola has it, 2 away, but here she is. There was only one way you weren't going to see Savannah Jaquish with the bases loaded, and that was going to be a double play, which was unlikely with Jefferson at the plate. And the captain has a huge chance here in the 2nd inning. What's this conversation sound like right now?
Well, Mulipola is a first-time captain, and she had mentioned to Jen Salling, the facilitator, like, hey, I want to put a little bit more on you to be able to kind of help me through this. So Jen Salling able to kind of call time to go out there to bring the battery together, to talk to Mulipola, get them trying to figure out how they're going to attack, I think, the most dangerous hitter in Athletes Unlimited right now. And it's hard because at times, Chucky, she's one of those hitters that you can even put a ball, 2 balls off the plate, and she still can make you work. You got to trust your defense. Trust the players like Sis Bates at shortstop. Use the ground, keep it down in the zone, and try to get someone to come up and make a money play for you.
Jaquish already 1 for 1 and came around to score on the Nichols home run. There's strike 1. Big pitch there from St. George. There's the 10 inning points on the line, but this could have a huge impact on the outcome of this game if Jaquish can come through.
Good
Goes
spot.
back to that, inside corner.
Yeah, that screwball on the inner half. And now at this count, 1-2 count, St. George got a toy with her. Have to find a way to expand that zone, not too far out, but make her work.
2-2. Savannah Jaquish is at the top of the leaderboard thanks to the 1st inning win points. That's how close things were coming into the night. So she jumps over Carrie Eberly. 2-2. Jaquish, left field. It is foul.
Long strike, Chucky, long strike.
There's the pitcher.
Does a good job just clearing her hips, getting them out of the way. She wants it, just foul.
Another 2-2. Outside, ball 3.
If I'm Jaquish, I'm sitting on something in. St. George has been able to get that strike.
Over the plate, diving Sis Bates, third base, got her! What a play by Bates! Fisher with the stretch, and that is a huge out.
What did I tell you? I said it's going to be about the defense. Sis Bates absolutely lays out, makes the quick throw to Sam Fisher. And this is what it's all about. Sis Bates lives for plays and moments like this. Here we go.
The Geico Defensive MVP Award. Shortstop number 22, Sis Bates.
Getting that honor is really, really special to me. Defense is something that is like near and dear to my heart. I have been in love with it since I was a wee lad.
What a play, Sis Bates! Oh my goodness, Sis Bates did it again! Sis Bates, just stop it!
Being on top 10 is like so cool because I remember sitting like eating cereal in the morning and my brother would watch and be like, whoa, that's so cool. And I was freaking out there, like how stinking cool is that? So just pretty full circle and really, really grateful to be here.
Sis Bates, 3 times the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. I have to think Heather Tarr felt pretty good filling out the lineup card at the beginning of every year, knowing Sis Bates at shortstop, we're good to go.
Well, and Supple America did an article with her, and a quote that I loved was, she said, I think that when a pitcher feels confident in the defense behind them, it frees them up to pitch whatever game they want to pitch. They don't have to strike everyone out. They can throw to contact and truly trust their stuff, knowing that their defense is going to have their back. And last inning's a prime example of that. That could have been a hot shot right past the 5-6 hole from Savannah Jaquish, but Sis Bates lays it all out on the line, makes that defensive play. And as a pitcher, that's what gets you going. That fires you up. But she's not wrong. It allows for you to trust your stuff even more because you know your defense can make stellar plays like that.
At the plate, pops this up to another talented shortstop, Hannah Flippin. And there's one away. Well, here's Haley McClenny. Pretty good start for her.
Not too shabby. I always love an opposite field home run. I just think it goes to show how they're able to see the ball a little bit deeper in the zone, but also goes to show how much of an offensive threat they are as a pitcher. Makes it hard on you.
It's going to be tough. Great play from Flippin to get McClenny. On the run, off balance.
This is a really good play. Flippin is deep in the hole, but she cuts it off just before the bag, and also knows McClenny has speed up the line coming from the left side, gets a little bit more velocity on that throw from short, and that's a close play, but Hannah Flippin flashing the leather.
The bunt, Jaquish can't handle it. I think Aubrey Leach would have been safe anyway. It should be an infield single for her here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. So Leach gives Amanda Chittister something to work with. Represents the tying run over there at first base. Chittister, deep left center. See you later. One pitch was all she needed.
That may give Mulipola a run for her money on the 322-foot shot, but it's almost like Amanda Chittister knew what was coming, sat on that pitch, was not fooled, absolutely mashes. She's got one of the best home run swings, just based on, like, she leaves it all in the box. Like, you don't see many people hack as much as Chitty when she gets through the ball. You feel it, and she just makes it look so easy.
We were talking about her earlier when McClenny, Nichols actually might have went yard, but the way Chittister has developed late in her career. She was tremendous at Michigan, but I think the development in her 3rd, 4th year as a pro to what she has been the last few years has been incredible.
Well, and look at what she was able to do with the Chicago Bandits in the MPF and winning that home run award and the numbers that she was able to put up. You could not deny her a roster spot with USA, and she got the opportunity to try out for the 2020 Olympic team, and a lot of it was based on that performance that she was able to have. And she was able to throw everything else out the window and just truly focused on herself and said, hey, I got to put in the work. And seeing her workouts, and she posted so much of it about on social media, and her lifting and her running, and it was really, really cool to see how it all lined up for her to get that opportunity to compete in the Olympics.
Great spot from Ocasio to get Mulipola. But it's Chittister flipping the script, and now Team Mulipola leading by a run.
I mean, not even fooled by the change piece. Absolutely hammers this left center.
I mean, everybody here is a good hitter. Just let me know where you guys move, and I'll move with you, or I'll tell you that that's going to be.
Well, you tell. Can you tell me?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I got you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bubba, nice catch, baby. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
That was our into the game with Air National Guard. Bubba Nichols making a nice catch out there. I love the conversation at the beginning with Jasmine Jackson and the outfielders, because I think that's one of the most interesting parts of Athletes Unlimited, is that communication that you have to develop each and every week. And obviously you're familiar with these players, but you're not playing with them all the time.
Well, and you also have to think that you have Janae Jefferson out playing right field, who normally is a second baseman. So the communication in the outfield, especially with a vet in Jasmine Jackson, is so important. And Bubba Nichols knows her stuff playing left field, but I just think that communication piece is huge, because the infield can hurt you, but outfield can kill you. They have to be able to come up and make those hard plays, and they all have to be in sync with what's going on. Where's the shift? What does a hitter like Hannah Flippin tend to do? And I love that Jasmine Jackson right out of the gate was just able to have that conversation.
That was one of the questions just watching AUX that really wanted to ask some of these players is, how does that work? Does somebody take control? Is it more of a team effort? And like you said there, it's kind of Jasmine Jackson saying, hey, we can do whatever you want. Like, I'll talk to you. And Bubba Nichols said, yeah, you run the show for us here.
Well, I think I would use this in the sense as if I were to be a captain, but I would definitely designate certain roles to certain people when it came to stuff like that, especially Jackson in the outfield.
Get Flippin on the grounder to third base. Our Sunday night baseball matchup, an NL West rivalry game that continues to heat up. Juan Soto now with the Padres. They take on Freddie Freeman and the Dodgers to wrap up a big 3-game series at Dodger Stadium. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. That is as good of a matchup as it has ever been. We've seen some great ones between the Padres and Dodgers over the last couple seasons. How about this matchup again? Nichols and St. George back at it. It's a 1-1 count. We know what happened the first time up. Bubba Nichols with the 2-run shot. She's in 4th place. She could pull herself into a tie with Deja Mulipola if she does it again right here.
And I know we talk a lot of point system for hitters and stuff like that. We haven't really talked much about the pitchers and how they're going to earn points. It's every single out recorded by a pitcher, strikeout, ground out, it's going to be +4. But every earned run will be that -10. And that's how you will see those pitchers finding ways to get points if they're not able to step into the batter's box and kind of be a two-way player. Like you think of a Rachel Garcia, Alicia Ocasio, both sides of the ball, they're able to get points.
Another ground ball, Sam Fisher. First 2 outs are 5-3 ground outs. You mentioned that, and I think it's hard if you are unfamiliar with Athletes Unlimited to look at the pitcher points versus the hitter and say, man, how could a pitcher possibly do this? Because the hitters have so many more ways. But our first 3 champions, 2 in the championship season and 1 at AUX, have been pitchers. And a big part of that, one, regardless if you're a pitcher or hitter, you've got to be winning games. So you have to be somewhat lucky almost to be on the right teams. But also for pitchers, I think there's a more direct route to an MVP nod. If you pitch well, you go 5 innings of 1-run, 2-run ball or better, you're almost guaranteed an MVP spot.
Well, and you control the tempo of the game based on how you are performing. So the ball is in your hand every single pitch, and that's a big responsibility that comes with that. And you will at times see a lot of those pitchers that are getting the MVP points.
And it's not to say a hitter can't do it. They've been close. Danielle O'Toole just edging out a couple big bats at AUX, becoming the 3rd softball champion, the first ever AUX champion. As a hitter, I mean, you've got to be consistently good collecting stat points. You've got to find a way to get a few MVPs here and there. You, of course, have to be on the winning team. I just think it's harder as a hitter. You know, you could hit a home run. You could go 2 for 4 a home run and run driven in, and you might still not have enough. DJ Sanders, does she have enough? McClenny at the wall! She is spectacular!
Get out of here. This whole game, Chucky, has been about the defense. Haley McClenny tracking this all the way to the wall. St. George fired up about it. 20 points to everyone on Team Mulipola. Fire me up, Haley McClenny.
Well, we've had plenty of them, and we've got our Geico defensive plays of the game, Danielle.
Yes, Bubba Nichols. Haley McClenny makes a good shot. I love this throw by Kiki Soaks O'Connor. Hannah flipping. It has been all about the defense. Sis Bates, I mean, but Haley McClenny getting up on the warning track up against the wall. I mean, we're getting a highlight reel. If you're filling in right now into this game, you are seeing just first-class defense across the board by the best to do it. So good, Haley McClenny. I've never gotten the chance to play with her. I'm kind of bummed about that. Yeah.
I was just thinking, I mean, I think she would be a great teammate to play with. Love the energy, obviously the ability.
Maybe I'll come out of retirement and just make one Athletes Unlimited.
You never know.
Just kidding.
Hey, you might want to recruit Haley McClenny up to that slow pitch team if you ever.
There's a couple of them I'd love
again.
to.
Yeah.
I'd love to take.
I'd love to. I mean, you should just take a camera crew out with you, recruit some of the best players you've ever played with, and go out and just mash somebody.
I gotta get Keycam with me.
There
She
you
can
go.
do some interviews and follow along.
Haley McClenny, now a longtime pro. I can remember watching her roaming center field for Patrick Murphy at Alabama. Sam Fisher to lead things off, and Team Mulipola just picked up 20 big inning points there in the 3rd. So they have 20 win points to just 10 for Team Jaquish through 3 innings, and they've got a 1-run lead. Fisher left side foul. Here's the Geico leaderboard, where we have already had 3 different leaders tonight. We came in with Carrie Eberly on top. Savannah Jaquish briefly had a stint in that top spot. And now Deja Mulipola leads the way here in Rosemont. If you've joined us later, if you're unfamiliar with the championship season, this is just week 2 of 5 as Fisher goes down swinging. That's out number 1. Well, fans, it's time to earn points for watching tonight. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard yourself. To get the app downloaded today for free, get all the access to great AU content and experiences all season long. Fouled back by Bianca Stelli. Erica Biancastelli hitting .250 on the season in the 33rd spot. There are 60 athletes here in the championship season. Biancastelli's in her 3rd year out of Italy. She watches that one outside ball 1. Played at McNeese State. She was 4th in the inaugural season, 23rd last season. catches the outside corner. 1-2. Inside evens the count at 2-2.
I loved hearing about just her in that home run derby that she did a couple weeks ago, and just kind of her relationship with Nick Swisher and how he was able to kind of get into her head a little bit and help her out on some things.
She talked about just the headspace she's in right now, how good she feels. She's such a great advocate for the game, and that's really been her big thing, is growing the game globally. She will do another one of those home run derbies you're talking about in Seoul soon. 2-2, fouls this one away.
I think the more that you're able to connect with people who have been there and done that, it allows for you to learn and grow as an athlete as well. So being able to link up with a player like Nick Swisher, who I was watching on The Captain, Derek Jeter's little documentary out right now, those are the types of players you want to pick their brain. You want to know what makes them great, what they did in their prime. And so for her to be able to get those experiences and continue to keep passing that on to that next generation, because she is such an advocate for wanting to grow the game in Italy and helping the younger ones kind of rise up and hopefully one day get that opportunity to compete in an Olympic Games.
Is there anybody for you in college or as a pro when you first got there that you kind of used as a idea board, I guess? Somebody you could talk to?
No. I mean, in college, I would probably say Dina Tyson was huge. She was a junior my freshman year. I linked up with her. She was a little scary, but she kind of put me under her wing and helped. And I was lucky to kind of be a part of the Team Canada national team young, so was around a lot of different players. And whether or not I had good relationships with them or not, I still saw how they worked, and I saw how they did things, and that kind of helps you grow and develop as a player. And most importantly, I think, gets you out of your comfort zone. Going on the 10th pitch of this at bat, Bianca Stelli.
Another foul ball. She is just battling right now.
I wouldn't mind seeing Ocasio climb the ladder, even though it's a 3-2 pitch. Try to throw that rise ball underneath her hands. Quick little timeout by Gwen Spekas to just go and communicate, hey, what do you want here? See if you can get her chasing the ladder on something up and in.
Six foul balls in this at bat. Another full count delivery. This one fading into foul territory. Underneath it is Nichols, and there's two away.
You see where that pitch was, Chucky? Up and in. You see what she did? She got herself out. And she climbs the ladder. Rise ball up in the zone, and Bianca Stelli just a little bit underneath it, and she's able to barrel that up a little more, and she knows it. You can read it on her face.
Nadia Taylor, another big power bat, swings and fouls that back.
And that's what this game is about for pitchers. We always want to find ways to set hitters up. And that's exactly what Ocasio does. Yes, she makes her work. She throws 11 pitches in that at-bat, but finds a way to hit a good quality spot and get a legit hitter out. It's not always about the strikeout. It's about the plan of attack against the best hitters. And they're making you work as a pitcher, but you're doing the same on the flip side, and you're allowing them to get themselves out, and that's exactly what happened.
Another foul ball squared up, but out of play. Nadia Taylor, one of 3 Texas Longhorns here in the Athletes Unlimited Championship season. Shannon Rhodes, Janae Jefferson joining her. Swing and a miss. Clean inning there for Ocasio. She hangs a 0 on the board in the top of the 4th. Points on the line in the bottom half, and Key Michael on the Keycam with a special guest when we return.
You gonna be ready to rock and roll, babe?
Yeah.
Let's go.
lay off that one because I can't do what I want to do. So it's got to be underneath it. Ah! Change up right down the middle.
I love it, Amanda Chittister with a huge swing, a veteran, incredible personality and ability, but she has had a tremendous career.
I mean, she doesn't get cheated in her swings. And I love just the chatter you hear of change up right down the middle. I'm here for it.
Let's go down to Key Michael.
All right, Chucky, you've been asking for it. Baby Cam is here. I'm also here with Michelle and Kate. We're going to be with this basically the Northwestern section. I didn't know I should have worn purple today. But I have questions for the boss.
Yes.
Is she going to be, is she the next star, the superstar of the softball world?
We'll see. Whatever she wants to do.
So you know a few of these players personally.
Yes.
Who are you watching today?
Well, we're here to watch Filler mostly, Andrea Filler and Abby Ramirez, who are our hometown friends and Northwestern Wildcats, so happy to be here to watch them.
And you said you've been doing some pitching practice with them, some hitting practice in the off season. So what in particular are those players working on, I guess?
Yeah, sometimes when we can get in, Andrea was able to train with us all season with our team, but I'm happy to throw with them, get competitive, because I missed it a little bit. So try to get them out as much as I can to get them ready for these awesome pitchers they're facing.
Speaking of missing it, you're a former player yourself. What is it like sitting here on the sidelines watching? I know you do a lot of recruiting these days, but you're watching the best level.
I thought she was going to get her third rob of the day. I was ready for it.
Chucky, what's going on?
Gwen Svekis crushes one to center field. Trying to show off for the coaching staff over there.
I guess I'm glad I'm not giving up these home runs today.
Wow, awesome to see. I feel like we don't want to talk over what's happening, so I want to give it the respect, but very cool action happening down there. All right, so back to us. All right, tell me about the best thing about watching softball, because you're not working right now, right? You're kind of in this is your downtime, but you're still here watching softball.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. Obviously, I was able to play here in this awesome stadium, and some of the fans that were still true stay here in Rosemont. This is an awesome facility for these professionals, and it's really cool to see it grow, and I love Athletes Unlimited. It's really fun to watch. So
good. I'm
happy to be here.
I'm so glad to hear that. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, boss.
Say bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Key, and tough start here. Peyton St. George in the fourth. Team Jaquish gets 10 more inning win points, and we have a pitching change. It'll be Sydney Littlejohn Watkins when we come back, making her first appearance here in week 2.
Well, Gwen Svekis absolutely hammers this pitch. We were in the middle of the Keycam, so we did not get to entirely toot this ball's horn, but it got out of here. I thought maybe Haley McClinney was going to try. You see the smile on her face, but that's what Gwen Svekis does. Not only is she so good behind the dish, but she's able to step up every now and again and do some damage in the box.
And they will have to get used to a new arm because of it. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, a 3.82 ERA in week 1, just 3 2/3 innings pitched, but she enters here in a big spot with a tie game.
There's a lot going on. Littlejohn Watkins has been so much fun to watch, and AUX got the invitation to play in the championship season. She has that curveball to both sides, but when she's able to throw that curveball away from the right-handed hitter, she can make that ball dance. Really good movement on her pitches.
That AUX was really kind of emerged as one of the top arms there, I think, and was having a great time. Asked her about coming back. She said she saw Athletes Unlimited. She just got the itch, and she actually tried out last year and didn't make it, and she said, I just wasn't ready. So she went and played a year in Europe. She comes back, plays really well at AUX, and they offer her a contract for the championship season during AUX.
Well, and it was really interesting because I remember she was texting me and asking like how I got back into it when I came out of retirement, and just asking me little nuggets of how'd you get through your body, what were the different things that you would do in a bullpen, and you just love like the vulnerability of that, like finding a way to get my number, to reach out, to ask like, hey, you did this, tell me how you did it, because this is what I want to do. And just kind of told her my story. And your body hates you for about 2 to 3 months, because it's physically taxing, but muscle memory does kick in and you find a way to get the competitive juices flowing and it starts to work again. But I also said, like, rely on what made you great. When you were at Alabama, what made you great? What did you do? What were your workouts like? Try to replicate that. And maybe on the days where your body doesn't feel good, don't push it, but you also have to push through a certain threshold to kind of get back to that place as a competitive athlete that you know that you compete against the best.
Oh, that's off her foot, but kicks it to her second baseman. They did not get Ocasio. Leach with a backhand stab off the foot of Littlejohn Watkins, who seems to be okay. That was just like a perfect back heel over to her second baseman.
Well, I'm just glad that she's okay. This is a backdoor curve and just gets off the back of her right heel. And I was in the dome earlier and she was talking about a little bit of like a bone bruise she had on her foot, and I wonder if that was the same one, but glad she's okay. Heads up play by Aubrey Leach up the middle, but just not in time.
Looked like hopefully it hit kind of the more hard part of the cleat there at the bottom rather than the softer part up on her foot a little bit more. She seems all right. No one really even came to check on her, so she must be all right, as we see Andrea Filler, and that was ruled a single for Ocasio, so that's 10 points for her. Still nobody out. Off the end of the bat to Leach, and she makes the grab for out number one. We'll go back to talking about Sydney Littlejohn Watkins getting back into the swing of things, because you've been there, not just you've prepared for seasons when you don't have, you know, the college help when you're in school and you have all the, you know, practices and coaches telling you what to do and trainers. You've done that, and that's got to be difficult to stay in that shape. But then to basically say, okay, I am done, and then come back a year or two later and try to get back into that shape and also get back up to that high level, I think that has to be even more difficult, isn't it?
Well, and I think that there's something too in you that is kind of pulling you back to the game a little bit. And that's a cool feeling to have, because you know you're going to leave it all out there, because you're choosing to go back. You're choosing to put yourself through the hard stuff. And so that just allows for you to appreciate the hard, want to get better, and be okay with failing. And the older you get, if you are okay with failure, you can be successful still in the game. It's sometimes when you're younger and you just expect perfection, it's never going to happen in this sport, because we do play such a game of failure. But it is definitely not easy coming back out of retirement, but Sydney Littlejohn Watkins is a prime example of it can be done. This is a backdoor curveball that I think needs to get called.
Jackson swinging through that one. They've got out number two. Back to the top of the order for Littlejohn Watkins as she gets set to face Janae Jefferson. Oh, 0-1 count. Janae popped out to Mulipola her last time up. She was thrown out at home back in the first inning. Great throw by Kiki Stokes O'Connor. Down and in. And here it is. It is a little bit different here at Athletes Unlimited, but this is the strike zone.
Well, and if you look at that last pitch, I look at the river and I kind of look where that pitch would have been located. But any part of the ball on any part of the zone, two sides. I like now that we got that illustration.
They sit down Jefferson. But 10 points for everybody on Team Jaquish. Thanks to the one-run bomb by Gwen Svekis. Aspiration around the bases for every run during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season. Aspiration plants 10 trees. Heading into the week, already 450 trees have been committed this season thanks to Aspiration's support. Bubba Nichols did her part in that as well. We've got a tie game, 3-3 going to the 5th inning, and we have Bubba Nichols mic'd up in the field, out in left field, and we just showed your home run, Bubba, but you're out in left field, so I'm going to start you with the defense. It was a great catch earlier in left field. We heard the communication at the beginning of the game with Jasmine Jackson and kind of talking about, hey, we'll talk when we shift and do all that. How much just communication, especially in this first game, goes into it every week when you have those new teammates?
Oh, communication is crucial, especially when we're changing defenses all the time. It's important for us to just kind of get acclimated to each other's voices as soon as possible. But yeah, I just wanted to be loud and just communicate. Thankfully, Flip knows me, so does SJ, but it's very important.
Bubba, take me through the catch in left field, because listen, when you lay out for that ball, if it gets by you, that could be an inside the park home run. So what's the mentality as an outfielder when you're going to go lay out for a ball that you know can't get by you?
To be honest, I kind of don't have a thought process when I'm diving. It is a prior thought to a play like that, but I was pretty confident that it hung long enough for me to decide to dive. I mean, it just kind of hung in the air. If I would have seen that it was going to drop a little bit sooner, I wouldn't have dove. I would have just let it fall in front of me.
Take me through a little bit of just Team Jaquish and kind of what the philosophy has been this week since the team was drafted, what practice has been like. Do you guys kind of have, I know each team does something special each week with, I think you guys are the boss babes.
See you.
I'll wear that one. I don't know if that's me. I was talking to you, so sorry if...
No, it's okay. That's kind of an example. I saw that it was dropping, so I wasn't going to dive for it. Also, Flip was pretty close. But yeah. With Team Jaquish, it's really about us using our own individual skill. I noticed that all of us have very different backgrounds when it comes to college ball and professional and even international. So I really like that SJ is trusting us with our own. Yeah, get her, get her, get her! Hey, good throw, good throw. That was nice. That was nice.
All right, Bubba, it's heating up a little bit out there. We're going to let you go, but we appreciate you letting us listen in and talk to you while you're out on the field, and keep it up. You've been a blast to watch so far.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry about that.
Bubba Nichols. She was busy, of course. We mic her up and she gets busy.
That at times usually is what happens to us when we...
I want Danielle Laurie mic'd up in the circle. That's
no,
what
you don't. No, you don't.
See, that's the fact that you say that, that's why I want to hear it.
I don't think it would be allowed to be aired. Some of it, the older I've gotten, I've been better, but college me, solid pass.
Okay. You won a national championship. Something was going right for you.
I will say this, though. Watching the MLB All-Star game and getting to see the pitcher-catcher like mic'd up and just their conversations back and forth, I can always appreciate that. And I wonder at times if that could be something that we just add to the game more often. Because as a little kid, I was sitting there and I said to my daughter, like tune in and listen to how the pitcher and the catcher are talking, and the catcher is telling him to set up outside. And I just think it's such a cool thing that maybe we could even add into here every now and again, where you mic up the catcher and the pitcher and they can communicate to each other a little bit. And just, we know they communicate obviously in the dugout, but what's it like if you took the signals away and they just got to chat?
I think this league is a prime example. You talk about it in the MLB, but you grow up and coaches constantly preaching, communicate, talk, and You look at these players, these athletes at the top of their game, at the top of their sport, and that is one of the most important parts of this league. With them switching teams all the time is the communication. There are no coaches. You have a facilitator and some very reputable ones at that. Jen Salling over at third base for Team Mulipola, but they can only do so much. It comes down to the players talking.
And I love this pitch. Ocasio climbs the ladder. Look at this pitch right underneath Haley McClinney. Really pretty pitch location.
This game, Team Mulipola is leading, but it is all square as of right now on win points. That could change this inning with one run already being plated. But to this point, it is 20 apiece. Aubrey Leach with an 0-1 count, watches ball one outside. She's a great story. Didn't play last year. Instead, started law school at the University of Tennessee where she played her college ball. Also a GA for Karen Weekly at Tennessee. I mean, you talk about juggling a lot of things. Law school, coaching, playing. Incredible. Sunday, a WNBA doubleheader. Some of the league's top teams on ABC and the ESPN app. At 1 Eastern, the Suns square off against the Sky. And it's the Aces taking on the Storm. Sue Bird's last regular season home game. That is a really good afternoon of hoops on ABC, and you won't want to miss Sue Bird finishing up her career at home at least. Tremendous career it has been. There's Amanda Chittister, we mentioned earlier. She is finishing up her career this year. She's announced her retirement, played at AUX, will finish up here in the championship season in Rosemont. Showed off earlier in this game that she still got it with a 2-run home run. You see the top 10 on the Geico leaderboard. Jaquish, Mulipola, Eberly. First two captains of the day putting pressure on Carrie Eberly. Chittister into right, trouble, and he gets over the head of Jefferson. 1 run will score, and they will hold Leach wisely at third. That just kept moving off the bat of Amanda Chittister.
I mean, she just hits like absolute lasers. Janae Jefferson playing right, but this was a ball that I think was going to get over any outfielder's head unless they're playing warning track all day. 20 points for Amanda Chittister. Tack on another RBI. Have yourself a day.
And a happy Sis Bates in the dugout. 1-0 count to Mulipola, and this is a tough spot for Ocasio and company. Down 2 runs, 2 more in scoring position with just 1 away to Deja. That one catches the outside corner. 7 hits in the game for each team. 4 of the 7 for Team Mulipola are extra base hits. Upstairs, ball 3, 3-1. Deja Mulipola with a base hit right here would take over the top spot on the leaderboard. Inside, fights it off. Could have been ball 4, but a full count. Big pitch coming from Ocasio.
Ocasio has been having some success climbing the ladder with that rise ball. See what she does here to Mulipola at this 3-2 count.
Upstairs, bases loaded. That is 8 points for Deja Mulipola. She will come into a tie there. You see her move level with Savannah Jaquish over at third base. Only, what, 468 without having finished your 4th game of the championship season. That is a huge number. Ocasio attacking Sam Fisher to start things off. Fisher is 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. Hasn't swung it as well as she did at AUX so far here in Rosemont. Just misses. Leach, Chittister, and Mulipola out on the base paths. And Chittister at second base. She's trying to make a big jump up the leaderboard today. She's in a prime spot to pick up some MVP points. She's already done a great job picking up those stat points, 60 of them, with the home run and the double. Not to mention 20 win points that the team got. That one runs too far outside, 3-1. Tough spot here.
Well, Alicia Ocasio going on her 100th pitch of the game. A little bit of a pickle here. 3-1 count, bases loaded, nowhere to put her.
Fisher lifts it deep center field. Jackson back to the track, jumping up and makes the catch at the wall, but it will bring across Leach for their 3rd run of the inning. A great catch in center field by Jasmine Jackson to make sure that didn't end up clearing the bases.
It's a rise ball. Sam Fisher just gets a little bit under it. Obviously that tag up by Aubrey Leach is a sure thing. I like the way Jasmine Jackson tracked that down in center field, was patient with that, waited it out.
Bianca Stelly, and still 2 runners in scoring position. They are off to a great start here for those 5th inning win points. 10 points on the line in the inning. Ocasio attacking, gets ahead 1-2. Last at bat lasted 11 pitches, which was the longest at bat of the season so far. Got her on the outside corner. Bianca Stelly didn't like the spot, but she will like the fact that her team plated 3 runs here in the top of the 5th inning.
I love it. I'm here for it. That curveball breaks it off the plate, catches Bianca Stelly looking at a baby.
I don't know who's going to win, but I'm really excited for them already. Well, I hope it's Amanda Chittister. So I really hope it is her. She was 2nd last season, so I think she has a good shot. Kelsey Harshman, KJ, I'd like to see her top of the leaderboard, maybe behind me though.
I'm rooting for O'Toole again. It's anybody's game, it's anybody's time. Anybody could win.
It's going to be an interesting season. I'm excited to see who takes home the gold.
Who will it be? Team Mulipola behind the plate with Savannah Jaquish standing in front of her, and Savannah Jaquish says, how about me, off the wall in left field, and she's got herself a double to lead off the 5th. That's 20 points for Savannah.
This is a backdoor curveball that just leaks a little bit too much plate. That slight little stutter step, but still able to get it. There was a little bit of a bobble by Kiki Stokes O'Connor in left field.
Mulipola and Jaquish were tied, but not anymore. Savannah Jaquish about to get 20 points to move up to the top of that leaderboard. She's hoping to give her team a boost to start this bottom half and maybe push those inning points to the 6th or somehow plate 4 runs. They're a long way from that, but they're in a good part of the order with Hannah Flippin.
When there's so many moving parts to winning this whole thing, right? Like, you obviously have to have good individual performance, but you want to be on those teams that are winning, because when you're on the winning teams, you see yourself having a little bit more success moving up the leaderboard. But I also think that the mentally tough thrive, because at times you're dealing with a lot of different adversity in this league. You're not dealing with having coaches, so there's an accountability piece that you have to be spot on with. The communication, like we talked about earlier.
Umpire communicating a strike to Hannah Flippin as she started to run down the line, and now a full count. There it is, Savannah Jaquish 20 points ahead of Deja Mulipola. Could have more. She has hit the wall twice now. She went down the right field line in the first week. That ended up being a triple. And she goes down the left field line and hits about midway up the wall, and it turns into a double. Mulipola and Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins trying to go from 3-0 to a strikeout, or at least an out here. Worked it back full. Flipping into center field. McClenny is patrolling, and they hold Jaquish at second base. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, the global leader in sustainability as a service. To the leadoff double from Jaquish, Flippin lines out. And now it's Bubba Nichols. Already has left her mark on this game, and there's still work to do for her team. She's got herself in a captain's chair early here in week 2. Plenty of softball to be played. I'm curious, because I'm addicted to the scoreboard. I love watching the leaderboard. If you were playing,
wouldn't look at it.
You wouldn't look at it, okay.
No.
So we've heard mixed feelings toward that, and the players will say, you know, some people look at it, some people don't, but that, I think probably the bigger majority don't look at it. I think it'd be hard, though, especially if you knew you were playing well.
I mean, I would kind of put it up there with looking at your batting average or your ERA.
Yeah.
Like, that was never something that I chose to look at. Hitters are fueled by different things than players are, so I can completely understand why they'd like to look at that. But at the end of the day, sometimes that's just something that you can't control, right? Like, you can hit an absolute tater as a hitter in a lineout, like Erica Piancastelli last weekend. 3 absolute laser lineouts, gets nothing for it. Sees herself maybe moving down a little bit on the leaderboard, and you just can't get discouraged by things like that. I love the fact that it's there, and if an athlete wants to look at it, awesome, but it was just something that maybe at times I would get my head about.
Okay. Ground ball, Sis Bates. Jaquish still held at second. And there's 2 away after the leadoff double. Athletes Unlimited, busy weekend tomorrow. We are back here, noon Eastern, doubleheader. Team Harshman and Team Jaquish will kick things off, and then lacrosse actually will get you started in the morning over on ESPN, or here on ESPNU, I should say. Doubleheader to kick off your Saturday. Just to go back to you looking at ERA, it's got to be pretty easy when you're pitching like you. It's like, it's 0. We're good.
No, it was never 0.
It's sub 1. We're all right. DJ Sanders has a 1-1 count. 2 outs. Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins trying to work out of what started as a little bit of a jam on the leadoff double. She's bounced back well. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
It's a little bit of an off-speed curve, really pretty pitch. Rolling in at 54 miles an hour.
That one runs too far outside, full count. Which it feels like we have seen double digits of so far between the two teams. These hitters are making the pitchers work, and vice versa. We've seen some 3-0 counts end up 3-2. Grounder back to Littlejohn-Watkins, and she wins this battle. Great bounce back for her to set down 3 in a row after the Jaquish double, and it's +10 for Team Mulipola. Deja's right up there at the top. 10 inning points for Team Mulipola. They played 3 in the 5th. It is 6-3. They lead Team Jaquish here in Rosemont. The 60th Bundesliga season kicks off this weekend, and tomorrow afternoon we've got Dortmund taking on Bayer Leverkusen, two of the league's top teams. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, with a 12:30 kickoff on ABC, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. Tomorrow here in Rosemont, be sure to get your tickets if you're in the area. If not, hop on a late plane, get here quickly. You can visit auprosports.com/tickets to get your tickets to tomorrow's game. Tomorrow, we've got a pregame tailgate hosted by Sarah Spain from ESPN, live music, food, games. We get our first look here at Maggie Ballot. What will she bring to the table?
Well, she mixes the ball well. She does throw hard, but has that screwball, that rise ball. We all know in this league, you have to be able to change speeds. Got to throw that change up often and really have no fear working both sides of the plate. Bringing it in on a hitter's hands, but also being able to snap something away.
She was drafted one of 13 players picked in the Athletes Unlimited College Draft. This is her first appearance here at the championship season. She played at AUX as well. She faces longtime veteran Nadia Taylor to lead off the top of the 6th inning.
You just see Nadia Taylor stepping into the batter's box, just off the plate. A little bit maybe more normal. And at times, hitters are constantly making adjustments against pitchers based on what they throw. And every single week, the hitters get to see these pitchers a little bit more and vice versa. So you got to change up your game plan. And sometimes hitters are moving around in the box a little bit. You'll see some hitters that don't move at all. This is going to be based on if you're off the plate a little bit. Sometimes you want them to throw it in, but sometimes you're baiting them to throw you something away. It just kind of depends on you as a hitter.
Here's the question I have for you on Ballot. Rachel Garcia and Victoria Hayward both on the staff at San Diego State under Stacy Newman-Denise, where Ballot played. I mean, as a captain, can you throw her again? I mean, they have such a good scouting report on her. They've seen her so much. I bet Rachel Garcia's hit off of her in practice. That's a great pitch. She's throwing like that, then throw against anybody.
Well, I think as a pitcher, when you come into this league, at times you have to respect the fact that sometimes maybe you're not always going to have the strikeout. I mean, gets her here with the curveball on the outer half, really pretty pitch, but when a pitcher can change the mentality to pitch to contact, to utilize the defense, it can change the game. You can throw less pitches, but you have to be comfortable with your defense, you have to be comfortable with your catcher, and you have to execute a game plan. So if you're facing a hitter and it's like, all right, hey, Victoria Hayward has my number. She's seen me a ton at San Diego State as an assistant coach, but I'm gonna try to plan a baiter to hit it to the right side. So I'm gonna just jam the crap out of her and continue to keep coming in, but you have to execute that game plan. And that's really kind of what it can be about at the next level, is respecting and tipping your cap when sometimes you give up a base hit that's a good pitch, but it's also toying and planning where you want the ball to go and executing location.
I love that. I like that chess match you're talking about between pitcher and hitter, and we've heard some great comments. I think from one of the catchers here talked about, how do you call a game? Do you go to the hitter's weaknesses or do you go to your pitcher's strengths? And they said, I always go to my pitcher's strengths. Like, what are we good at? Let's beat them at doing this. And but I love that chess match that you're talking about with trying to figure out how do we go about this.
And I always think it's safe to say that as a pitcher, when you can own the inside part of the plate and jam hitters, it puts a little bit of a fear factor into a hitter, knowing that I can pump 67 in on your hands. But that's also a comfort thing sometimes as a pitcher. But we're talking about back-to-back strikeouts from Maggie Ballot coming into the game. Really pretty pitch on the inner half. Just gets Kiki Stokes O'Connor off balance. 11 pitches, 2 strikeouts.
It's the corner on Sis Bates, too. She is looking confident right now. Sis Bates drove in a run last time up. RBI single. She's down in 51st on the leaderboard. Just looking for a big week individually, but also just wants to see Team Mulipola have a lot of success here in week 2. Left side, gonna be tough for Flippin. Gets Sis Bates. Clean inning right there for Maggie Mallon. Impressive stuff. 2 strikeouts and the ground out. Her team trails by 3. (6-3) Team Mulipola leading Team Jaquish as we go to the bottom of the 6th here in Rosemont, Illinois. Game 1 of week number 2 in our softball championship season. How about this one? The Padres and the Dodgers. Juan Soto and company taking on Freddie Freeman at Dodger Stadium. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on ESPN2 with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Gwen Svekis coming off a solo shot. As we see our Aspiration round the bases for every run during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season. Aspiration plants 10 trees. When contributing to that, there were 450 already committed this season thanks to Aspiration's support coming into tonight. Gwen would like to add to that total yet again, and they need it right now. The trail coming into the bottom of the 6th. There's 10 inning points on the line, but also they want to claw their way back into this game because 50 points on the line for the winner of every game. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins runs that one too low, ball 1. Gave up the leadoff double in the 5th to Jaquish, and then it was a line out to center and 2 ground outs in order to strand Jaquish at second. This one a spinner toward Littlejohn Watkins, and she takes care of it. Out number 1.
And this is really when you want to see Team Jaquish start to fight. They have 5 outs left to try to get some type of a rally going to get back into this game. 50 win points is rewarded to the team that wins the game. Obviously, winning innings is so important. You win every inning, everyone on your team gets 70 points for the day, but to add on that additional 50 points to win a game is important.
This is the first of our doubleheader tonight. Team Eberly and Team Harshman coming up here on ESPNU next. What will the leaderboard look like when we get to that game? Obviously, we kind of talked about it. You said you wouldn't look at the leaderboard. We hear that from a lot of players, and basically a lot of the reasons you talked about, that can kind of start to get in your head a little bit and overthink things. There are always going to be 4 people who know, because they are going to be drafting their teams on Monday afternoons all season long. And so you can't hide from that, and you also can't hide from where you are on the leaderboard. You might think, oh, I'm just in the top 4, but it is all based on color. Team Eberly, when you see them in game 2, will be wearing gold, and that was because she was in first place.
And you have a good idea where you're at based on the team that you're on. If you're winning games and you're winning innings and you're performing well, you know for the most part that you're probably sitting pretty.
And I would think as a player, you would have an idea on that. I mean, you know if you're having success individually, that's pretty obvious. If you are on the winning team, I mean, it's not too hard to look up and say, okay, well, we just won that game and they didn't score maybe or something like that. But you might not necessarily know exactly where on the leaderboard. And the win points are big, and veterans in this league, I think as a rookie you might come in and it might be hard to kind of tell, but veterans will know if you're winning, you really are in a good spot, even if you're not swinging a good bat or throwing very well in the circle. You see right here, this is And what we're talking about, you can move quickly in this league. Those are the biggest single game points of week 1, and those are huge totals. And those do factor in the MVP points that are voted upon at the end of games by the players. Andrea Filler at the plate outside. And this is a tough game to determine some MVPs. There's been some big swings of the bat. And this is one thing we talked about early for hitters. It's not always so cut and dry. I think for pitchers, if you throw well, you've got a good chance to get an MVP. But I think it's tough. You know, you look at somebody like Bubba Nichols, who made a really good catch. She had a 2-run home run. But you've got Amanda Chittister on the other side. She's driven in 3 runs. She's swung it really well. You know, depending on what happens down the stretch here, you just never know. Even if you're playing well, you might not get those bonus points.
I feel like we've been very fortunate this game to be able to see a lot of great stuff. We've seen the long ball, we've seen the speed, but most importantly, we've seen the really good defense.
And that's a good point, too. You see, Sis Bates, a lot of times, she will get some MVP points, and so often, she might only have a single or something in the game, but her glove does it for her.
The quote, defense wins championships, could not be more true, because elite pitchers pitch better when the defense is solid behind them, just elevates the level of play.
Spates won the Geico Defensive MVP at AUX. There's actually an all-defensive team that gets factored in as well here in the championship season. So they get Filler.
And last year, Anissa Ortez won the Geico Defensive Player of the Year. And the year before, Haley McClinney in center field won the first in the inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited.
McClinney, we already saw her flash the leather. She's off to a good start in the campaign for another one of those. So we see Allie Harrell pinch hitting for Jasmine Jackson. Jasmine was 1 for 2. Did a little bit more pop with Allie Harrell, the rookie out of Marshall. An outstanding college career. She was another one who started off really well at AUX, and she was offered a spot here in the championship season during a team meeting. I believe she was on Team Fisher that week, and they told her in the meeting that she would be offered a position here in the championship season, and they said that was a pretty emotional moment for her and for everyone there. She's here in a big spot. Wow, that is a laser toward the dugout. I think everybody's okay over there, but that was right at where Daniel O'Toole is standing right now. Ooh!
I think it got a hand of maybe Peyton St. George sitting on the bucket. Always have to have your head on a swivel.
There she is trying to shake it off right now. She is no longer sitting on that step. I would be surprised if she does the rest of the season.
You're right. Can you show me the
Keycam in the dugout? She took it off the bicep, it looks like.
At least it bounced.
Yeah.
Allie Harrell coming in here, working it to a 3-2 count, seeing a lot of pitches, good quality AB.
And Allie Harrell takes her base, and Alicia Ocasio takes third. Heads up base running there from Ocasio. Now it's first and third with 2 outs. It's 8 points for Allie Harrell. And Jasmine Jackson will re-enter at first base to get that speed back over there. See if Janae Jefferson can deliver.
It's a good opportunity here for Janae Jefferson. I've seen her go yard. I saw her do it throughout her college season. She did it in the regionals versus Washington. Saw her go yard in Oklahoma City at the Women's College World Series for Texas. I mean, she has the pop. She can turn on a pitch.
She delivered at the World Games too. against Japan, drove in 3 runs, the only 3 runs of the game that helped Team USA to a gold medal. A little bit of revenge over Japan after losing to them in the gold medal game at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. She has caught the eye of a lot of people in this league. Haley McClenny, one of them, who said Janae Jefferson's the future of this game. And Mulipola might have got lucky there. I think that clipped the home plate umpire to keep that in front. But Jackson is over to second base in a big spot here for Janae Jefferson. The inning points on the line and a chance to make this a very close game. That's ball 2. Catches the outside corner. That's a great spot from little John Watkins.
Well, and that's her backdoor curveball. Has a lot of bite on that pitch and cuts back in for a strike. As a hitter, you have to determine quickly if that's a pitch that's going to be hittable or off the plate.
And that one is off the plate.
Well, and if I'm little John Watkins, I'm attacking Janae Jefferson. I do not want to get to Savannah Jaquish. I want to try to use my defense here and get an out before you pass the bat potentially to Savannah Jaquish with bases loaded, down 3.
Jaquish is licking her chops. She was up in the 2nd inning with the bases loaded and grounded into a fielder's choice. She would love another opportunity. Full count, 2 outs. Jefferson stays alive. Janae Jefferson, the Texas superstar, started a program record 269 games from 2018 to 2022. Lead them to the championship series. Ground ball smothered at first by Chittister, and they get out of the jam. The 2nd inning in a row, little John Watkins has done it.
Well, and it's just good classic defense. Amanda Chittister, slight bobble, and makes the play and gets him out of the jam.
Make sure you join the Unlimited Club today. Great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interaction with players, signed items, and more. More information at auprosports.com. Sydney Sherrill, Sierra Romero out in the players' suite in left field and getting set for a busy weekend here on our ESPN family of networks. Lacrosse kicks you off tomorrow on ESPNU, a doubleheader starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Myself and Danielle are back here at noon Eastern for Team Harshman and Team Jaquish, kicking off our early doubleheader here in Rosemont, Illinois. Fun to watch the leaderboard develop this weekend. We'll be back next weekend for week 3 as well. Look at our Geico leaderboard. It is Savannah Jaquish out in front right now, 10 points ahead of Deja Mulipola. Haley McClenny trying to help her captain out right now. They lead by 3. They'd love another one. They'd love these inning win points. One thing to note is, with the inning win points on the line, if we were to see zeros here in the 7th, those 20 inning win points on the line would belong to the team who wins the game, which in this case would be Team Mulipola. You're potentially, if you're on Team Mulipola, you're looking at a possibility of 100 win points in this game if you can win this last inning and you hang on and win the game. Maggie Ballant entered in the last inning, went 1-2-3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out to sit down the bottom of the order. Lenny fouls that one, maybe got Svekis, but she looks all right.
Something to remember too about Gwen Svekis and Maggie Ballant. Gwen got the opportunity to catch Maggie Ballin her freshman year at Oregon, so just to be able to already kind of be comfortable with a catcher, especially your first year playing. I mean, obviously Maggie Ballin played in AUX, but the championship season's just a little bit of a different feel. You have more athletes, there's more games. So to have kind of a soft landing, someone to have your back is important.
Talk about their time at Oregon. It was brief, but that was a National Catcher of the Year in Gwen Svekis and a National Freshman of the Year finalist in Maggie Ballin. Into the stands. Full count. Svekis trying to help her former and now current teammate out against Haley McClenny. Struck out swinging back in the 5th, grounded out, but she led off the game with that solo home run in the 1st. Underneath it might be playable for Jaquish, and it is. Big first out.
Second baseman.
4 up, 4 down for Maggie Ballin. Pinch hitter in, Abby Ramirez. A pinch hit for Aubrey Leach. Ramirez, a Chicago native, played at Michigan. Very familiar with some of those other Wolverines. Of course, Sierra Romero. They formed that dynamic middle infield for Carol Hutchins. Carol Hutchins, all the accomplishments, all the wins, and the great players. I think you'd have to look at Abby Ramirez, Sierra Romero, the careers they've had, Amanda Chittister, of course, and just be so proud. I mean, 3 long-time, extremely successful professional softball players out of that school. And there's Ramirez right on cue. With 1 away, puts herself on base. Well, a WNBA doubleheader. Some of the league's top teams, we already told you once. The Sun and the Sky at 1 Eastern. And the Aces taking on the Storm. Sue Bird finishing up her career at home. It's a big afternoon of hoops. It's on ABC and it starts at 1 Eastern. You ball at all?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can beat my kid, I'll tell you that.
Your 5 and 8-year-old,
Yeah.
correct? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I show
There
her
you go.
that I said, Mom used to play, you watch.
On the little Tykes hoop.
No, we go big hoop.
Okay, there you go. Well, she's going to be a stud then if she's 8 years old playing on the big hoop.
I took my littlest to Seattle WNBA game last year. Audrey, my littlest, we went and we watched. That's when they were playing in Everett. It's tough sometimes to get all the way to Seattle consistently with traffic and all.
Yeah.
So
Are they ballers at least? I mean, do we feel like we've got some studs in the family?
the gene pool's right. I'm gonna knock on wood. I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
They're still
Yeah.
pretty young, so I hope so.
That one gets away from Svekis, and Abby Ramirez takes second base, and will that come back to bite Team Jaquish? The runner in scoring position, just 1 out. Chittister swinging a hot bat at the plate. Popped up shallow right field. Ocasio is out there after starting the game in the circle, and there's 2 away.
When you hear Amanda Chittister yelling, dang it, running up the line, knowing she just missed that pitch. Love getting to hear just sometimes the banter, just how they talk to themselves after when they know they're so close.
Deja Mulipola at the plate with 2 away. 2 walks for her and a strikeout in this one. Good spot from Ballin. It's a 1-1 count. Mulipola in the second spot. A double would move her in front of Savannah Jaquish. If they win the game, she could also jump her. Deja had 432 points in week 1, which is an Athletes Unlimited best for her.
You have to remember, Eberle's still hanging out in the 3 spot, hasn't even gotten the chance to play yet. So the amount of points that Carrie Eberle is the captain of the gold team, #1 after last weekend.
What a job by Maggie Ballant. Didn't get to pitch in week 1, comes in here in 2 straight innings, sitting batters down.
Just utilizing that outside corner, blowing it by Mulipola. Big time strikeout for Maggie Ballant.
I love being like an older softball player because normally I would probably play off and cheat a little, but last game off of Sydney, she roped one down the line. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna scoot even / in front of the bag, so if she ropes one, like I'll still be able to get to it before it hits the bag.
What does that have to do with you being old?
It's just knowing the game more.
Knows the game more. Comes with age and tremendous success for Amanda Chittister, apparently. But I love talking about what happened last game off of Sydney Littlejohn Watkins and understanding that and playing it a little bit differently. She has a new pitcher in the game right now in Odyssey Alexander, the James Madison product.
Well, bringing in Odyssey, last inning. Knows she throws high velocity. Has to seal the deal here. Team Mulipola up 6-3. So for Odyssey to be able to kind of come in, do what she does best. Mixed speeds for sure, but there's something about coming in as a closer with the mentality of knowing that you can show all your cards right out of the gate because you have 3 outs to work with. And I think sometimes it's refreshing knowing you can give it all you got. You don't have to work 7. You got 3 outs to toy with. You want to try to have your teams back with a 3-run lead.
Just needs 3 outs. 1-0 count to Savannah Jaquish.
It'll be a hard 3 outs. Savannah Jaquish, Hannah Flippin, and Bubba Nichols. Is that her money, her work cut out for, excuse me, these 3 hitters.
1-1 outside, 2-1 for Savannah Jaquish and her team right now. 1 run gets you 20 points, but you lose the game and 50 go the other way. If you can find a way to plate 4 in this inning, it is 70 win points for them. Jaquish underneath it, and it's going to get out of play. Two count to lead things off. Jaquish led off the 5th inning with that double, but she was stranded there by Sydney Littlejohn Watkins. Odyssey Alexander looking for the right ball right now. Jaquish, Flippin, Bubba Nichols. Swing and a miss. A big out #1 to get the captain, Savannah Jaquish.
This is just so dirty. Look at the movement, downward rotation on that pitch, 59 miles an hour.
See, Alexander played in Japan this year.
When you get the opportunity to play over in Japan, it at times exposes you a little bit as a pitcher, because the Japanese don't strike out often. So you have to learn to pitch at times a little bit differently.
Oh my goodness, Hannah flipping. Look out. Well over the left center field wall, and has secured at least 20 points as they win the 7th, 6th, and 7th innings and cuts the lead to 2.
Essentially, it's a 60-point at bat for Hannah Flippin. Not only the 40 points for the home run, but the 20 rollover inning points that everyone on Team Jaquish gets. One swing of the bat, 60 points.
Now Bubba Nichols, nobody on for her, but the lead shrinks to just 2 for Team Mulipola. Two low, 2-0 to Bubba Nichols. Grounded out her last 2 times. Had the 2-run home run in the first inning to grab 10-inning win points for Team Jaquish. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Outside, tough spot here, 3-1. DJ Sanders on deck. She represents the tying run as it stands if Nichols can reach. Nichols fouls it back.
Well, if you're Odyssey Alexander in the circle, the last thing you want to do is give up that free pass. You don't want to put DJ Sanders in a position to tie up the ball game with one swing of the bat. You want to do everything in your power to make Bubba Nichols get herself out.
Left side, Fisher. And there's 2 away. Well, the 60th Bundesliga season kicks off this weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, it's Dortmund taking on Bayer Leverkusen, 2 of the league's top teams going head-to-head on opening weekend. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, the 12:30 kickoff on ABC, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. Odyssey Alexander trying to close the door after giving up the home run, but can still secure these 50 game win points as DJ Sanders fouls that one away for strike 1. Sanders 0 for 3 so far. She's the only player on Team Jaquish without a hit. She was 0 for 3 with a walk in week 1, but she does have some pop. Hit one to dead center. McClenny robbed her of extra bases as she swings through that one for strike 2.
And if I'm Odyssey, I'm going to go right back to that curveball. That had some good bite on the end of it.
Here it is, the 1-2. This is hit well. McClenny tested again. That one a lot easier right at the beginning of the warning track for the final out. So 20 inning win points go to Team Jaquish, but 50 points for Team Mulipola winning the game.
Yeah, good performance by Team Mulipola. Leaderboard is updated. Savannah Jaquish up at the top, but we still got another game to play tonight.
We will be back 20 minutes here on ESPNU. Another one coming your way. Team Eberly and Team Harshman. That leaderboard always changing. We'll highlight it for you when we come back. For Danielle Laurie and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. We'll see you in 20 minutes here in Rosemont.